How stupid can a whole country of the United States of America become? How absurd, how irrational can it possibly become? Listening to propaganda pouring into their brains from the media explaining what's going on here. You see, I'm going to take an example now, okay? We watched Eric Garner attacked by five cops, but only one cop was in the so-called secret, who knows if there actually is one, grand jury. One. What happened to the other four? And then we're told over and over and over and over, I mean literally hundreds of times, by the geniuses that work in the media, that he was selling Lucy's. He committed this crime. Trouble is, the New York City tobacco law is a civil law. It is not a criminal law. And furthermore, it only applies to dealers. Well, Eric Garner, if he actually was selling any Lucy's, but he wasn't. He was by himself. So five cops attacked him, just like three cops attacked me on film in Stop and Shop in Bridgeport, Connecticut. And I was arrested after they attacked me with no probable cause on the surveillance film. So this is after I got arrested at the church. I went to church and got arrested. Now, most people don't think, well, I'll go to church and I might get arrested. That doesn't probably cross too many people's minds. But anyway, this cop stood in front of the church. I drove up, parked the car. And then the cop came from inside a door, must have been the pastor's office, with this paper in his hand. Okay? And he comes to me and he said, "Can I speak to you outside?" I said, "Sure." We went outside and he starts asking me about an email. I'm like, "Man, I don't even know what you're talking about." So it turns out that they won't even give me the email. The judge ordered the prosecutor to give me the email and the police report, and they refused to do it. And they claim that there's this law that gives them 45 days to do it. But there is no law at all that gives them any days to do it. The judge ordered, give it to them, and that's the end of the issue, okay? But that doesn't matter here, okay, with Mr. John Smirga, who, by the way, in the previous time he had me arrested, John Smirga, he took evidence that was on his voicemail. I called him one time and left one message, and he destroyed the evidence. So do you think he might be destroying the email? Gee, it's possible. So now, how do I know it was the pastor who made up this email and got me arrested? How do I know that without any question about it? Well, did the cop come into a secret door? He didn't come through the front door where I was standing, so he came through some side door into the building. And then did he go into their office and just get with the computer and the emails, and he decided this is an email that he wants to copy, and now he's got this copy of an email that he wants to talk to me about? And that's what, did that happen? Or did the pastor create the email, have this guy come with the sole purpose of arresting me, come in with nothing in his hand? He didn't have any paper in his hand when he was standing in front. And now all of a sudden, he copies the email off the computer and he gives it to this cop. And he comes out the door. So is there some question that, well, who else who else created this email that's being used to claim that I was harassing him. I don't know what the email says, so I cannot comment on that. But it didn't come from me in the first place. I mean, the last thing I want to do was harass this pastor. I had no purpose in harassing him and didn't harass him. So what in the world would make the pastor want to create an email and make a false charge, which happens to be a crime, that he needs to be arrested for, but the cops won't arrest him? They have the email, they know I didn't send it, and furthermore, they can trace it, and I've already filed a motion for the court to order a trace on the email. So you see, it's this propaganda that keeps pouring into the entire country's heads, the left and the right. And they tell you what everybody's doing and how it's, they have all the answers, okay? Well, the stock market, what's going on, China, blah, blah, blah. They explain everything like they know, okay? They're the dumbest, most absurd people on the planet, pouring witch hunts into everybody's heads, including the one against Cosby and the one against Brady. I mean, I'm just talking big time now, okay? So this is where we're at in the USA, and this is not good, okay? And unless people say, whoa, how crazy does this behavior have to get before we recognize this is not just a few screwballs. This is the entire country. They can't think. They have no ability to reason. So we're going to be screwed here, believe me. We have to be screwed. And now it's a bunch of bozos running for president. Nobody even recognizes it. Hillary Clinton, just a psychopath liar. And Trump, he's a thief. And they don't know how to deal with Trump, okay? They have no idea. But they don't know what Trump pulled that screwed all the stockholders and all the bondholders involved in the companies that he created for the casinos and whatever, okay? So, yeah, he's he becomes president. He's looking at probably making 100 more billion. That's what he wants to do. He wants to steal the oil. He says, I'm going to take the oil. What does that mean? I'm going to take it. Yeah, that means you're going to steal it, man. So you got this huge army, American armed forces, and they're going to just take the oil for you, right? And then there's 9/11, which is the Bush deal. But we don't have time for that at the moment. So just think about this. And people don't want to hear about the Bush deal. They don't want to hear about the evidence involving Bush. The point, there's no doubt. I mean, it's Bush, okay? He created this incredible conspiracy so he could start a war that he wanted to start the minute he got elected, because he said so. It's not about an opinion. He actually literally said so in front of Secretary Treasury Paul O'Neill. He put it in his book, and nobody questions it. Colin Powell, Condoleezza Rice, none of them. So, hey, that guy's just nothing but a liar about Bush's wanting to start a war in Iraq. So there you go. Bye.